Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on Zoho CRM Admin series. What we're going to focus on today is the powerful artificial intelligence, which is Zia in Zoho world, and how it can help you save time. And this is all to do with data enrichment, which is a quick way of making sure that all the fields data can come through. I've got Wendy and Danielle with me today. And Danielle, do you want to go on to Zoho CRM and let's show them how it's done?
Absolutely. So I kind of call this my stalker assistant because it can take a little bit of information that you have and go and find additional information. Let's go ahead and start inside the CRM. We're going to start on the home page. And in order to get to this and turn it on, we are going to go into the setup, which is the cog in the upper right-hand corner, the gear icon. And then inside here, we've got Zia has her own section. Today, we're going to focus on the data enrichment, and then we'll do other webinars on some of these other options. But let's go ahead and get started with the data enrichment. When we come in here, a couple of things that you'll notice on this page is it only works on certain modules. And then there's a couple of fields inside those modules that you will need to set up in order for this to work.
Right. So in order for it to scour the internet to get some more data for you, you will have to provide a company name, email address, website, not all of them, but it'll work even if you just have one, just that your data may be a little bit better if you fill in more. And the data enrichment happens when you add a contact a lead or account, or if you're even just editing one that already exists.
And just to be aware that this is available on the Enterprise Edition and above. And this is the CRM Plus, Zoho CRM Plus and Zoho One do use the Enterprise Edition. So this is all available for you guys completely.
Perfect. So sometimes clients will call and say, oh, hey, we saw this data enrichment. We can't get it to work. And, we take a look and, turns out that they have, the standard edition or something like that. So therefore, it's not available until they upgrade to the Enterprise Edition or go to Zoho One or CRM Plus. All right, let's go ahead and turn this on. Let's see what the magic is in here. Click Get Started. You'll see the modules that it works in: leads, accounts, and contacts. You can toggle it on, toggle it off. We're going to go ahead and leave it on. You'll also notice in here, we can assign profile permissions to this. So at the moment, this is only going to work for users that have these three profiles: administrator, standard, 90-day onboarding. You'll notice in the database, we have their profiles that are available, but we've only turned it on for these three for whatever reason. Maybe we don't want affiliates or outside sales using it. But just note that is one of the other places that it breaks down. Sometimes a client will call and say, oh, it's not working. And it's because, it's in the, somebody has a different profile that's not listed here.
Should we go ahead and do an example?
Absolutely. All right, let's pop over here to leads since it works on leads. You are always going to do a universal search first, but today we are just going to demo this and kind of see what it looks like. So we're going to click on Create Lead. And as we get to this page, I'm just going to go ahead and stalk Mita. So I'm going to put in Mita. And
keep an eye out, guys, at the top. As soon as it feels it's got enough information to do it, you'll see a little communication come up.
There we go.
Can you see
right
that?
There?
Enriched. Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So now this says we have enough data to go stalk our prospect here. So we're going to click on Enrich Data, and it will come up and give us what it has found on the internet.
And this is where it's also quite important because Daniel had intentionally put the wrong company address name in. And as you can see, it's not coming. Okay, it's come up with the wrong one.
So it is definitely the wrong one. Yep. So we can get additional information, right? So maybe this isn't the correct company. Caldera Electric, definitely not. So Caldera and Associates, we can come over and put additional information in. Sometimes since it is publicly available data, it can maybe pick the wrong person. So maybe you do have to limit it down to an email address. So
in the real world, what I tend to say to people is use the website. because whether we've gone to a trade show, whether we've got somebody's card, we always know what the website is. So it's caldare.com, and as soon as you do that and you do the enriched data, remember Wendy was talking about key information, and hey presto,
those primary fields. Okay, so we did need a little bit more information, and this time it does come up with the correct ones.
And just as a note, what I am finding is feedback from clients has been that the salespeople are thoroughly enjoying this, because what they're doing is they're able to put in just a little bit of information, maybe the person's name, and as I said, website, and this just saves so much time. They don't have to type all the information in.
And if you notice, you see the value that we have versus the enrichment value, and you can choose by clicking that little box in the middle. Like if we wanted HTTPS, www, and so we could do that.
And the actual name.
And the actual
the correct
name. Exactly. So you can choose if it gives you something that's not quite right. Maybe it's a main phone number instead of the person's direct number or something like that. You just turn off the ones that you don't want to have come and overwrite into your system.
Okay. And then also to point out the field mapping that we have. So how do we know where these things go, what fields we have available? So we can click on configure field mapping.
And while that's loading, just to be aware, guys, the information is all publicly available, and it's coming from things like Bing. Sorry, go on.
That is an excellent item. So let's show you the screen over here. Here's a note. Data enrichment in Zia is available only in Europe, Australia, US, and India, right? And it is public knowledge. So it makes use of the Bing web search API. And there's nothing saved. It's not tapping into your database. It's not tapping into its users or anything like this. This is all available publicly on the internet.
Yep, and it will only crawl through English, anything in websites in English. That's
right.
To know.
That's a good point. It'll only do the ones in English. Perfect. Okay.
And it's not saving your information. It's not going to pop your data out and take it somewhere.
Exactly. So definitely takes privacy seriously. And that is one good thing to keep in mind, because it can be a little strange when you first use this. You're like, oh my goodness, where's all this information coming from? And then, so if we go into the data mapping, if we had extra fields, like today we added LinkedIn, so we're able to add LinkedIn and map LinkedIn in here. We have the address information that so we could send this to shipping address, billing address. On the lead, we only have one address that's available, so it maps it to that. But on accounts and contacts, we have multiple addresses, so you could tell it where to map those. And then finding an email address and a secondary email address, all of these items up here. If you don't use fax, you wouldn't map it or whatever. So you can actually do the mapping there. Let's go ahead and save that. And let's see, we go back to our create lead, and we have all the information on here. We want to update this record. So we're going to go ahead and click on update lead, and you'll notice that it filled in all of my pretty little information.
And the nice thing is it's telling you it's highlighted the fields that it is updated.
Yep.
So it's just, again, it's a good idea, guys, just to always check, just make sure the data is correct and it matches.
Perfect. Couple of things on this. I've had some clients call and they'll say, oh, hey, it's not working for me. I've put in, email address or whatever. It's only going to find the information that's publicly available on the internet, and it has to have some primary fields. And it's not a question of whether or not it is broken or not working, right? So that is one of the things we have to, have a discussion with the clients. They'll say, oh, mine's broken, it's not working. It's either on or it's off. So it can either find some information or it can't find that information. So it's not if it's turned on, it is working. You just may not have enough information in the primary fields for it to be able to find something on the internet. Or if you have privacy concerned individuals, you may not be able to find their information on purpose. I don't put my email address everywhere, for example. When we put my information in here, you're not going to find my email address because I try to keep it off the internet as much as possible. So it's only going to find what is publicly available. So mobile phone, right? Didn't find her mobile phone to be able to input this. And also no email address on this, right? So there's only so much information that's available.
But still, the information you get, and I mean, industry, these are things that you normally wouldn't even fill in. And I mean, how many databases have we seen where you have tons of contacts, it's just a name.
Mhm.
Just a name.
Yep, we get
How
that a
useful
lot.
is that, right?
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is maybe your salespeople or admin staff, when they see all this other stuff getting filled in, maybe it gives them a little impetus to fill in the rest that, of the blanks. Keep your data healthy.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that is about it. I'm going to go ahead and save this in the database. And you ladies want to add anything else?
No, really thoroughly enjoy using this form of artificial intelligence, one aspect of it anyway. And we'll cover some of the other aspects on a later date.
Perfect. Okay, ladies, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the webinar today. Thank you very much, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Have a great day.